Nashville, Tennessee, it's theTHREE with the Studio C Band. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith. Welcome to theTHREE. This is the only television show that looks at how the crazy current events shaping our world are actually shaping you, body, mind, and spirit. Today's guest is someone I have known my whole life. I know her inside and out and I have not spent a day apart from her in my 53 years on this earth. Can you say that about anyone you know? Can you? Well, even though some days she drives me crazy, I know that she means well and has my best interests in mind every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, my show guest today is me. How you like that? Yeah. Well, thank you. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue, also known as adrenal exhaustion or adrenal burnout. Conventional medicine calls it Addison's disease, and John F. Kennedy had it so badly that it is speculated that had he not been assassinated, he still would have been dead in a year. I'll get into more about my journey in just a minute on this solo show, I'm calling it. But just know that it involved total bed rest for me, radical dietary changes, and a lot of prayer, where I repeatedly told God that I had too much left to do on this earth for Him. And, I didn't want Him to take me home so early because I had too much left to do for my family. Well, He had healed me miraculously so many times in life with illnesses, big and small. But this time, He required me to cooperate with Him and do my part. But from all that was birthed my entire ministry of body, mind, and spirit health. And of course, now I'm a certified nutritionist and I have a degree in original medicine. Today, I would like to tell you the story of how I survived, what I did, and the book that came from the whole experience. It's called the 30-Day Faith Detox. And I'm doing this show because I believe it's going to change your life, and that is experience talking. So today, we're going to talk about the choices you make for your body. So actually, you are my special show guest today. We're going to talk about your choices, the choices you make that result in you being overworked, overtired, overweight, and undernourished. If you're like me, you have a fifth-gear, king-size life, and you hardly ever slow down. But I have learned the hard way that if you don't slow down and sleep, your organs will go to sleep for you. So today, I want to help you by answering some of the questions I've seen on our Facebook page for the 30-Day Faith Detox, and by just giving you general tips that can help you live stronger and longer. Is that good? Good. Yeah. All right. Okay, everyone, help me welcome our returning guest, Laura Harris-Smith. And while you're out, give it up for the Studio C Band. I love my Studio C Band. Well, so this is a different episode today. I am wanting to just really try to step into your world for just a moment and to encourage you that the best thing that you can do to take care of all of the other people around you that depend on you is to take care of yourself. So let me just tell you a little bit about how the 30-Day Faith Detox got started. Well, it goes all the way back a couple of years before when I was actually very, very sick, as I just described. But what had happened was I had to go on total bed rest. I was in the middle of another project called Seeing the Voice of God. And it was a book on dreams and visions, and I had decided that I was going to put a little bit different spin on dreams and actually interview sleep study doctors and just bring the whole bodily element into the topic of dreams, because it's so important, right? Because without dreams or without sleep, there's no dreams. So what I did was, as I was on bed rest trying to recover, I was writing Seeing the Voice of God. And what's really fascinating is that even though I I was living this really fast-paced life and I loved everything that I did. I had a strong constitution, and even though my blood tests were, my body was just kind of, it was wearing out at a rate that I didn't fully notice because of my strong constitution. And what started happening was I started having, blood work that was strange, and all of a sudden I just felt different at different times of the day. I started noticing in church. We have a church at Eastgate where we pastor in Nashville, and I found that I couldn't even keep standing in the third worship song. Like, I had to sit down in the middle of the first worship song. There's a big flight of steps we used to have to climb at our church, and I couldn't make it all the way up. I would have to stop, or once I got to the top, hand on rail, I was out of breath, and that just was not me. I was always healthy, I thought. And so basically what happened was, as I began to research for seeing the voice of God, I had to interview a sleep study doctor. And keep in mind, I didn't know yet, I had not had a diagnosis, and this doctor looks at me and he said, "Oh yes, if you don't sleep, all of your organs will go to sleep for you." And he said, the first thing that will happen is that your hormones will get messed up if you're not sleeping. And so here I am taking notes feverishly, for my new book, and didn't even realize that God was talking right to me. I got very little sleep. Now, I can sleep. I can lay down and, wake up 8-9 hours later. But maybe you're like me and you have too many things to do that keep you from sleeping. Or what about your devices, and that ambient light that glows, or the television, or your computer, and it keeps us from, being able to really rest as we should. So what I did was, as I was studying for, with this doctor for the book and learning about sleep, I realized that everything this doctor was telling me was happening little by little in my body, and I thought, I have to go get checked out. I think I've done something to myself through, not sleeping right. And so sure enough, as I described in my open, the diagnosis came back and I was told, make changes or die. So I go on total bed rest. I'm finishing writing Seeing the Voice of God. And I'll just tell you, friend, every single meal became a final exam. I'm a farmer's daughter, so I had always tried to eat my vegetables. But now it was different. Now I was needing to learn foods that would literally go in and help each organ individually and even act like a claw. I had to start learning which foods did what and cleaned out which body system. And the reason I did was because suddenly all of my blood work, all of these different body systems, whether it's your reproductive system or your cardiovascular system, your circulatory system, my test results show that every single one of them was lagging. And I could tell it all over my body, and I could tell it, people could tell it even by looking at me. So what I began to do, and I didn't realize what was happening at the time, was that I was in training. I was learning all about these foods. I'd eaten all of my life, but now I needed to learn to use them strategically. So I want to talk to you for just a minute about what happens when you not only eat the right foods, but you eat the right foods at the right time, and you combine the right things, and you realize that really God has color-coded our food. Now think about that for just a minute. The foods that you eat and the vegetables and the fruits, they're not just the color that they are because of the mood God was in, the time that He made them. No, it just so happens that there are certain colors and phytonutrients that have a specific job. So for example, I'll just give you one example. Reds are going to be incredibly good for your heart. Isn't that easy to remember? And that's because they contain a phytonutrient called lycopene. Everybody talks about lycopene. You got to take the little red pill, and you see it on television, you see it in drugstores, but the truth is that it's much healthier and actually cheaper to just eat strawberries. Just eat an apple. Just pick up a red pepper, which, by the way, has more vitamin C than an orange. So I began to have to learn what foods did. And as I started doing this, I noticed a pattern. I noticed that certain colored foods did specific jobs. So here I am, I'm fighting for my life, I'm having to study to stay alive, not thinking I'm going to write a book, right? I'm just going to help me. That's usually how this works. And then sure enough, I learned so much that I realized this is Jehovah sneaky. He is going to cause me to, require me to write a book on everything that I'm learning. And so that is the story behind how the 30-Day Faith Detox came to pass. And I wrote it and I did it with you in mind. And here's why. Every single person wants to have faith. They want to have a better relationship with God, hear Him better, and be able to believe Him for big things. I know that is true because the supernatural God created you. So He wants you to have that longing inside of you. Well, the thing is that your faith gets toxic. I've had so many people, I cannot tell you, ask me, well, why does your faith need to be, detoxed? How can faith get toxic? It happens when you pray for something and it doesn't come to pass. That's one way. Let's say that you were in a marriage and it failed. Let's say that someone asks for prayer and you pray for them and they don't get healed. You're probably less likely to want to pray for someone else. Why? Because your faith was damaged. Your faith got toxic through this thing that you walked through. Maybe it happened in your church, maybe it happened in your job, but whatever it is, it's really good for us to stop, look at all of the things that are going on in our life and say, God, how are you trying to clean me? My body, my mind, and my spirit. And so that's what the 30-Day Faith Detox does. And when we come back, I'm going to talk you through how each of the 30 days work, what you're going to do in your body, what you're going to do in your mind, and what you're going to do in your spirit. And I'm telling you, if you'll track with me on this and you will learn to invest 30 days, just 30 days in yourself, you are going to experience a reset button for your body, mind, and spirit. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Laura Harris-Smith, inventor of Quiet Brain Essential Oil Blend. If you would have told me 2 years ago when I was mixing that very first little bottle that we would have thousands of customers from all over the world and that we'd have to quadruple our staff to keep up with the demand produced by our international TV infomercial, I'm not sure I would have believed you. And if you told me I'd be hearing regular testimonies of improved sleep, reduced stress, migraine relief, even help with other neurological challenges like seizures, PTSD, tremors, muscle spasms, even anxiety, well, I probably would have cried. And sometimes when I'm reading a Quiet Brain testimony, I do. But if you would have told me 1 year ago when we introduced our Quiet Brain Variety Gift Box that it would become the biggest selling item on our online store at quietbrainoil.com, I would have said, I believe it. The reason is because I created the gift box to be the perfect combination of all of our Quiet Brain products. The oil itself for topical use on the skin that contains only certified pure oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier and bring speedy relief and neurological support. And our aromatherapy line with our Quiet Brain shampoo and conditioner, candles, inhalers, all of which use the nasal passages to gain direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. So whether you need to use Quiet Brain topically or aromatherapeutically, the Quiet Brain gift box has everything that you need. And now we've given our gift box an upgrade without increasing the price. It now comes with our satin Quiet Brain Sleep Eye Mask. Just put a few drops of oil on the nose guard and you're on your way to enjoying a good night's sleep. And it all comes packaged in a beautiful gift box and delivered to the destination of your choice or sent to you so you can use it for 7 different gifts or keep a few for yourself. When sold separately, the items in the box are $160, but you're getting it for $135. That's a $25 savings, meaning that you're getting the nasal inhaler and the shampoo and conditioner for free. The Quiet Brain gift box comes with 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight diffuser with 16 color options and intermittent mist options, 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain, 1 Quiet Brain nasal inhaler, 1 Quiet Brain candle, the satin sleep eye mask, and your healing shampoo and conditioner. And remember, both are color safe, aloe enriched, paraben and sulfate free, loaded with wonderful ingredients like unscented coconut oil, olive oil, sugar beet betaine, and of course the Quiet Brain blend with its 8 essential oils like lavender, frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and more. We get repeated testimonies of both being used with great effectiveness during headaches for pain relief. So go to quietbrainoil.com to order. Quiet Brain is a great gift for any time of the year, but especially for seasons like these that bring additional stress. Give the gift of health and peace this year. Give the gift of Quiet Brain.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith. I'm glad that you've joined us today. I'm telling everyone about my book, The 30-Day Faith Detox. This is a few years old, and I just explained how I got to the place where I had to write the book, how I had to eat differently to save my life. And while in that process, I began to notice that God had color-coded our food. And I just thought, what if I could make this so clear for everyone and write a book? That's always my way of solving the world's problems. Write a book and allow people to be educated, become educated about the foods that they put in their mouths and the results that they will get. And so it worked for me. God used food and medicine. He used food to heal me, not medicine, I should say. And so the 30-Day Faith Detox just explores the entire link between really your food and your life. So I want to just read this little clip to you. It's called the gut-brain link. And let me just ask you this first. Did you know even that there is a gut-brain link? Because I know you have probably used the expression before. You had a gut reaction, or I hate their guts, or maybe you just see when you have stage fright or something and you get butterflies in your stomach, or there's just this visceral reaction and link somehow between your stomach and your brain. So listen to what Harvard University says about this. The brain has a direct effect on the stomach. For example, the very thought of eating can release the stomach's juices before the food ever even gets there. This connection goes both ways. A troubled intestine can send signals to the brain, just as a troubled brain can send signals to the gut. Therefore, a person's stomach or intestinal distress can be the cause or the product of anxiety, stress, or depression. That is because the brain and the gastrointestinal systems are intimately connected, so intimately that they should be viewed as one system. This connection is important to you as you begin to build your food upon your food choices, because what's happening is, if you think about what happens in the absence of food, it's called fasting, and it has an amazing effect on the spirit. So we know the presence of food also affects your spirit. So you have to think about the choices that you make in your food. And one of the things I set out to do in this book is to convince people, first of all, you are worth investing the time to make change in your life. So here's how the 30-Day Faith Detox goes. We talked about those faith toxins a minute ago. I noticed that at Eastgate, where we pastor in Nashville, which I always invite you to come to, I'd love to see you any Sunday morning at 10 a.m., we noticed that people who come into our church and they come up to the altar and they ask for prayer, their prayer requests always fell into one of 5 categories, without fail. It was either going to be their social influences, things going on in the world around them, maybe that they were concerned about, worried about. Then there's the financial toxins, it's your money, your bank account, all of that. What about your relationships? That's another one. And then also your health. People come up and they ask for prayer all of the time. And then finally, just your purpose and your identity, the things that make you, you, and your destiny and your future. People maybe aren't so sure, and so they want prayer. So what I did was I divided the 30 days into those 5 categories. And so I can add 30 divided by 5. That means we have 6 devotionals. Every single section of the 30 days has 6 devotionals in it that you're going to spend on that specific area of your life. So we, in the 30 days, there's 30 devotionals, and we spend 6 days diving deeply into your finances and the things that maybe are getting you where you are right now, that place, maybe you're in an uncomfortable place with your finances. Maybe you need to look at your stewardship. I'm going to help you through these devotionals. Look at maybe how you don't even know exactly why it is you're in the financial situation you're in, or maybe God has more for you and you don't even know He's that kind of a good God. And then we're going to spend 6 devotionals on your health. We're going to talk about healing, how to get you healed, how to get you to stay healed. And then 6 on your relationships. Maybe you've been in a bad relationship. Maybe you've got a wayward child. Maybe you have a parent that's struggling, or maybe you and your spouse are not in unity. So those are the type of the faith toxins that we'll discuss in that chapter. And then, as I said, 6 on, the social influences, things going on in the world around us, and then 6 on your purpose itself and your destiny. So you wake up every morning, there's a devotional waiting for you in the book. And as I mentioned our Facebook page earlier in my open, we have people who write me from all over the world, and I'm always shocked how they say, it's just amazing. I opened it up and it was right what I needed to read, right when I needed to read it. And we actually had a couple who walked into our church one Sunday morning and said, "You don't know us, but we got divorced. And then I read the 30-day Faith Detox, and you challenged me to forgive my ex-husband, and I did, and now we're remarrying." And he had gone through the detox too. So it's amazing what can happen in your body when your mind and your spirit are working together to make you whole. So you wake up every day, and guess what? You know me, I said I liked colorful food, and I love food, period. I just don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So I actually created smoothies in here that are detoxing. They contain all these ingredients I told you about. Each section of the 5 we described, each has its own color. So when you're dealing with your heart, physiologically, we're detoxing your cardiovascular system. That's the section when we're dealing with your relationship. That's easy to remember, right? So it's all color-coded, and every single section is going to allow you, like I said, to open every little closet door in your life and see what might be lurking inside and just let God clean house. Well, after you have your morning smoothie, then you are going to have the rest of the day I've got some incredible comforting soups and colorful salads and entrees and this type of thing. I have set up some menus in here that you can carry on into a whole new lifestyle. But I'm happy to say that what's most exciting to me is that what started out as a faith book and what started out as just a desire really to get myself well has now helped tens of thousands. I don't know how many tens of thousands of people are doing faith detoxes all over the world. However, I have one friend he did the faith detox, and he is just a shining example of what happened. He actually did it the first month and lost 25 pounds. And then he thought, wow, this really works, this eating colorfully thing. So I'm going to keep going. And he went another month and lost another 25 pounds. And I'm really happy you're here with us today, Sean. So yeah, congratulations to you, because it takes the commitment. It takes you realizing that you are worth investing in. If you can just remember that, friend, that you are worth investing in, then you will take the time. So I have people ask me all the time, can I do this and work? Is this a full-time job? Oh yeah, you can. And guess what? You deserve what will happen at the end, which is that you will be a brand new you. And that is the most important part. So I want you to stay close, because when we come back, I'm going to give you just a couple of tips from in here. They're going to be a really great, easy place for you to start. And then I'll tell you where to get the book. Stay close. Hi everybody. Recently I was introduced to an event called Run for Zion, a creative, fun, experiential way to bless Israel. This ministry allows you to run or walk through Jerusalem and provide for millions of Israelis of all backgrounds. I've always dreamed of visiting Jerusalem, and now I can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it too. There's even a way for you to rally contributions that will make your trip free. Get details at lauraharrissmith.com/bless Israel. Please join me in Jerusalem in March 2019. Run for Zion and bless Israel with every step. What if there was a reset button for your body, mind, and spirit? There is! I wrote the 30-day Faith Detox so you could cleanse your body, renew your mind, and heal your spirit. There are 30 daily devotionals to confront emotional residues from past trials, what I call faith toxins, prayers to refresh your spirit, and then through yummy strategic foods, each of your 15 body systems are cleansed for a total body detox. People are losing weight and gaining faith. Go to lauraharrissmith.com today to get your copy of the 30-day Faith Detox.
Did you know you can wear your quiet brain? Introducing essential oil diffuser jewelry for women and men. Great gifts made with stress-relieving lava stones formed from cooling magma. Ready to soak up your quiet brain for all-day aromatherapy. There's our Focus Diffuser Bracelet, which also contains Tiger Eye Stone. Our Serenity Diffuser Bracelet, also containing the calming white howlite stone. And our Double Diffuser Necklace in silver or gold. Check out our diffuser jewelry, home diffusers, and car diffusers today at quietbrainoil.com.
I'm just looking through the pages of this book and so many memories coming back to me from how God helped me recover and how I want to help you recover and be the best you that you can be. That really is my desire, because I believe that strong people make strong families and strong families make strong society, and that's what the world needs. So I just want to challenge you for just a moment, in case you're still saying that there is no connection, that there's what you eat doesn't have anything to do with the rest of your life. I just want to remind you of the way that sin entered the world. It actually entered when Eve ate that piece of fruit. And why did the Israelites, how did they get in trouble in the desert, right? They were crying out for better food. They wanted meat, and God finally gave it to them. Well, what about Esau? Yeah, he sold his birthright for a pot of stew. And so we see time and time again in Scripture where food is someone's downfall. But you know, Jesus passed the food test. He was asked to turn rocks into bread. He was tempted by the enemy, and he could have just said, watch this, boom, and turned it all into loaves of bread. But no, he said, no, man does not, live by every word that comes from the mouth of God, not by bread alone. And that's what you have to say. That's what the place you have to get to, is you have to decide that you want to feed your spirit so that you can have an emotionally healthy existence and then a resulting healthy body. So as I have tried to encourage you, you can get this where any good book is sold, everywhere good books are sold, of course on Amazon. You can go to my website, lauraharrissmith.com, or you can go to theTHREE.tv and you'll find your way there. But I want to just urge you to do these two things. If you will remember that back in the day, every health expert would just say, it's all about, diet and exercise, and those are two very important things. And they're my point number one, is that you definitely need to remember that what you eat is important, and remember that getting moving is important. But number two is, it's not just diet and exercise. You have to add sleep. Rest is God's idea. And you may be like me and you can go on just a few hours sleep, but it's not smart. It's what got me in trouble to begin with. So I want to urge you to remember that you serve a God who is the God of the Sabbath. He not only likes for you to rest, He tells you to take a whole day off to do it, just to be with Him and just to be with your family and just to rest. So take that attitude, be a Sabbath keeper, but also get plenty of rest every day so that you can live longer and live stronger. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Three. And again, I hope you'll go to my website, lauraharrissmith.com. You'll find all kinds of goodies there that will help you get healthy, body, mind, and spirit. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.